Hey guys, this is Megan from Like Minimal, and today I just wanted to share with you some of my September favorites. And some of them are from previous months, but I'm still loving them this month, and I haven't shared a favorites video in months and months and months, so I don't think it really matters. But this month I've got quite a few to share, and some of them have to do with music, some of them are TV, some are books, and one is an experience I had which helped me to be more confident. So let's get into it. My first favorite is music related, and it is the Master of None Season 1 playlist on Spotify. So this playlist is really great for me. It helps me to get in the zone when I'm like working at the desk upstairs on, managerial things. There's a lot of variety in this playlist. You've got your Yola Tango, you've got your D'Angelo, you've got your Brian Eno, Mac DeMarco, Young Buck, and then plenty of artists that I've never even heard of. So I really enjoy it. I can focus really well when I'm listening to this, and then every once in a while when a song or artist pops up that I like, that I already know I like, it is like a little boost of motivation. Thank you, Aziz. Excellent as always. You can find that on Spotify. I don't pay for Spotify, so I can only shuffle the songs in the playlist, but that is totally fine with me. My next two favorites are two books by the same author. They are You Are a Badass and You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. I listened to both of these books on Audible, and I keep listening to them over and over and over. It's definitely like self-help, self-development stuff, but it's in a style that I haven't heard before, and the content is all about taking control of your life and figuring out what it is you want and why you want it, and really finding your motivation to accomplish those things. So they're definitely big game changers for me. I have found a lot of motivation through going through the processes in those books. So You Are a Badass obviously is more general.
The moment you have the audacity to start believing in the not yet seen, your reality will begin to shift.
You Are a Badass at Making Money obviously is more about making money.
The point was, I'd spent an entire lifetime self-righteously insisting that being rich was overrated and gross. And I wasn't going to back down easily. No matter how broke I had to stay in order to prove my point.
Both are using the same philosophy, the same principles, so they go hand in hand. Okay, my next two favorites are TV shows. The first one is The Carmichael Show. The Carmichael Show was like a half-hour sitcom that ran on NBC for a few seasons, and this past year was the last season. It stars, and I believe is mostly written by Gerard Carmichael, who's a comedian. The Carmichael Show is about a family, and it takes on a lot of issues that family sitcoms don't usually take on, like politics, sex, mental health, and it did all of this while being really hilarious and charming. And the writing comes at each issue from many sides, so there are a lot of different perspectives that are represented. I have to say that The Carmichael Show has made it to one of my top 5 shows ever. I really like the cast. It's got Gerard Carmichael, obviously, who's really funny. Tiffany Haddish, who was just in Girls Trip, which I haven't seen yet. And it's got Lil Rel Howery, I think is how you say it. He has been in Insecure in this past season. Insecure's on HBO, which is another great show, but I didn't want to fill my favorites with TV shows. Anyway, I could seriously watch this show all day, and I think it's hilarious and everybody's adorable. The Carmichael Show is one of those shows that puts me in like a good mood and a good headspace after every episode. My next favorite TV show is Twin Peaks. Guys, if you don't know about Twin Peaks, which you probably do because you probably have friends who post about it on Facebook all the time or whatever. Maybe you don't. Maybe that's just me. But it originally aired in 1990 and 1991. I did not watch it. I was 1 and 2 years old. There was also a movie that came out a little bit after that, which was supposed to be a prequel to the series. And then this year they came back and did a 3rd season with most of the same cast. And this season just finished up on Showtime. So the show stars Kyle MacLachlan and a lot of other people. This season especially had some interesting actors, like Naomi Watts was in there. Michael Cera had like a little cameo. Amanda Seyfried, I think her name is. Yeah, just a lot of people that weren't in the original who I guess are, you know, fans of the show too. Laura Dern? I always wanted to call her Lorna Doone, like the cookies. Anyway, it's like a sci-fi, comedy, drama, thriller kind of show. And I think it's really pretty to watch. It's nicely shot and it takes place in Washington State. The description of the show on IMDb says, an idiosyncratic FBI agent investigates the murder of a young woman in the even more idiosyncratic town of Twin Peaks. And that's very true. The show is very dark. It has very light moments, but I don't know if I could have watched it all by myself. My boyfriend and I watched the whole thing, and to watch it by yourself, if you're highly sensitive to just like bad things, and maybe try to watch it with somebody else. But I still really liked it. It has a lot of flaws, but it has a lot of nice things as well. It's also very cozy to watch. There's a lot of coffee and pie and nature, which are 3 of my favorite things. It's really weird. The acting is weird. The music is weird. It's very quirky. But those are part of the charm, I think. And it's really worth a watch if you're looking for something to like obsess over and something that's gonna keep you hooked. That leads me to my last favorite of this month, which is the experience that has led me to reclaim my confidence as a human being, which is rapid transformational therapy. Now, I first heard about this on the podcast called The Lively Show. I've talked about that before. I love The Lively Show. It's very cool. So, rapid transformational therapy, RTT for short. It is a method that a certified professional uses to help you tap into your subconscious in order to get to the root of an issue that you're having. And it can help you to change your story once you realize what your limiting beliefs are that are causing the issue. So I wanted to work with a trained RTT professional in order to address my previous social anxiety and hopefully even my digestive issues, which I think go hand in hand with the emotional stuff. And anyway, so it was a 2-hour Skype session during which the therapist helped me to relax and to get into a state where I could more easily access my subconscious. And she prompted me to explore the issue with questions and things like that. Things like questions, like other questions. So we traced my social anxiety basically back to some situations that happened when I was around 5 years old and a little older. And these were things that I had always remembered had happened, but never really thought too much of them. And through this therapy, I could see more clearly how they have affected my beliefs and how I function as a human, or how I have functioned as a human in the past. So these were situations where an adult had to, or felt the need to, discipline me for things that I thought were very trivial and didn't understand, and kind of thought the adults were being unpredictable. And so I felt bad about myself for these things, and I didn't know how to stick up for myself. Nobody really taught me that, and that's understandable, I guess, but I, realized that through the process. So it's something that's easily corrected. For many people, I'm sure these experiences that I had as a child might not be as severe or influential, but I do believe I'm a highly sensitive person, and so I can see how those experiences would affect me so severely. So the point of this therapy is to go through those memories and notice what happened and how I felt in those situations and how they've influenced my life, in order to kind of change that story I've been telling myself about, people are unpredictable and sometimes crazy, and I have to really monitor my own behavior, if people are gonna like me, if I want people to like me, if I want to feel good. So the therapist just kind of reinforced that I was born with all the confidence I need, and she gave me a 20-minute recording that I was to listen to for 21 days in a row, which I did, and I actually continue to listen to it because I do feel like it still helps. The recording is just about creating a new story for myself, about confidence and me liking people and people liking me, and envisioning the person that I want to be, etc. So I do feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. I feel more joyful, more interested in people, less anxious to see people. I still am very introverted. It takes a lot of energy out of me to socialize. But in some situations, I feel like I also get energy from socialization. It depends on how overwhelming it is, I guess. But I definitely feel more comfortable, more myself, and more confident around other people, and less scared. If that's something that's interesting to you, I will leave a link below to the therapist that I worked with. She was really great. I recommend her for anybody. She also does life coaching, I think. She's based out of New York City, and she has a very impressive website and a very impressive portfolio. So if you want more videos like this, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and oh yeah, leave a comment below if you think you have any suggestions for me based on what I shared with you, or if you are also into any of these things. I'd love to talk about it with you. So I guess I'll see you next time.
I've been telling you how to